Hi. I've been sharing poems so far on this very new and so far very small channel. I started writing when I was in elementary school and have kept at it since. That was a very, very long time ago. Poetry to me is a way of expressing thoughts in a way that I am able to get those thoughts out. That is very difficult for me. I am on the spectrum and I have ADD. As an adult with autism, it can be almost impossible to explain what I want to explain without using way too many words. So I've been fortunate from a young age to use poetry or whatever this is I'm writing to quickly express myself. Everything I write about is my own thoughts, my own feelings, and I'm so happy that this channel might allow me to do that. I don't know much about editing, and I've spent like $30 on lights so far, so bear with me. Hopefully in time we can turn this into a special space where the poetry in all of us can shine. So please subscribe. Would mean the world to me, and if you could like my videos, that would also be awesome. And leave a comment. Tell me what kind of poetry you like and topics that interest you. I would like to share something I wrote when I was 17. I didn't have the original, so this has been recently rewritten in the style of someone who was 17. I was fortunate to visit Germany on a school trip, and while there, the group of us visited a concentration camp called Dachau. This is a little bit of how I was feeling walking through the camp. This is called Why. Why? The first thing they saw as they entered was cast in metal over the gate. Arbeit macht frei. Work will set you free. A perverted promise that if they did what they said, they will someday have freedom. It wasn't granted. Freedom is not freedom when the price is Auschwitz or Dachau or Plazow. When those who have committed no crime are held as prisoners, the fabric of that society hangs as rags over the shoulders of the leaders who, in the name of hate, justify the unjustifiable. When hate breeds with power, the offspring that is produced only and always produces a society of fear. And fear needs a leader. And he had a name, Adolf Hitler. From his rise to power, ruthlessly oppressing those who stood in his way, to his speeches which told the masses whom to blame, to his promises that he alone will restore the fatherland, he alone would make it great again. He pointed the finger and said, look at them. They are to blame. They are the reason your life sucks, but my plan will get rid of them. At first, the ghettos became home. At first, political opponents were silenced. At first, the world noticed but did nothing. At first. Then it progressed. Opponents, those who did not share his belief, those who stood in his way, and those who only crime was being born to a religion and culture he hated. It continued to those who identified as being part of the LGBTQ culture, to the handicapped, to the disadvantaged, to those he deemed lazy eaters. Train car after train car would roll into the camps. If they survived the trip, they were lined up and a doctor pointed right or left. Right, you were led off, never to be seen again. Left, you were spared for a time. And this continued and continued. Those who survived were liberated by young soldiers who saw death in those who had not yet died. To this day, outside of several camps are entire fields where nothing can grow because of the ashes that destroyed the soil. The ashes of those who were told to go right instead of left. When you visit Dachau today, there's a sign, and written in many languages is the phrase, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. I was 17 when I took the tour of Dachau. I pray to God I never forget what I saw. I pray that my children grow up in a world that has abandoned the need to hate for political gain. I like to think I am hopeful. Tell that to Gaza. Tell that to parents of children who are starving to death. As the world cries for justice, those who can stop this are more concerned with posting a soundbite to X. Tell that to the millions of kids who kiss their parents goodbye and then enter a school that is held captive by the Second Amendment. Ask a first grader what they do during lockdown drills, the Minecraft backpack strapped to their backs as they practice staying still and not making a sound. The backpacks are the only protection the NRA can suggest, because kids don't vote. Try living in a country that points at a group of people and says they are to blame. Those who do not remember the past. Try justifying immigrants being sent to brutal concentration camps. Those who do not remember the past. Try justifying a charismatic leader who destroys those in his path. Those who do not remember the past. I pray to God I never forget standing in the middle of a field where nothing can grow. I pray to God I never forget lowering my head to enter the gas chamber and crying with 20 other 17-year-olds as we heard what happened there. I pray to God those who can do what they can before another ugly history is someday told to another bunch of teenagers standing in a gas chamber. Those who cannot remember the past are doomed to repeat it. Repeat it. Never again.